In 2006, Middlesbrough Council published its first Green Spaces Public Places Action Strategy. This righteous document was full of bright ideas and lovely pictures of green spaces and wildlife, and the community being encouraged to care for them. In 2008, the Council was awarded Beacon status for its commitment to tackling climate change, an issue so important that Mayor Ray Mallon described it the greatest challenge of the 21st century. And then, in late 2008, the Green Beacon Authority chose to destroy a conservation project for a housing development, despite the fact that the developer had pulled out due to the recession, and despite massive objection from the public. And now, in 2009, the Green Beacon Authority wants to concrete over the lake and the only tranquil green space left in the heart of Middlesbrough. If the council gets its way, Central Gardens will be sold off for 4 office blocks, a hotel and a multi-storey car park. The council were keen to point out the development included a high-quality public space. In real terms, this would amount to a rather small patch of green surrounded by the imposing office blocks. And tucked alongside the law courts, the flower bed would become a water feature again. And oddly, Oldenburg's Bottle of Notes sculpture will be shifted down here from its prime spot outside the new art gallery. And the council plan to do all this despite the dire economic climate and despite having just given planning permission for another hotel and multi-storey car park to replace the old police station a stone's throw away. What do you think of the council's plan then?
I think it's totally and utterly disgusting. They're not taking into consideration the people that live round here, the people that work in offices, that come out and have the lunch on here when the sun's shining. The same as the ducks, what they're going to do with them.
Taking the little bit of wildlife and greenery out of the heart of Middlesbrough. This is the heart of Middlesbrough. There's everything in here. Come the spring, this little lake comes alive. The children come down from the schools for their nature studies. Sit here on an evening in the summer is tranquility. Absolutely tranquility.
Why get rid of the bit of green that we have in Middlesbrough? This is where people walk the dogs and where people meet. We have a lot of elderly people and disabled people around here, and I just think it's absolutely appalling.
It's a one-off because you very rarely see out like this in other towns, and if this goes, I think it's going to be a sad and sorry day for Middlesbrough Town Centre.
I'm a retired person, I live in Eldercourt and I spend a lot of time down here. You know, come down here and feed the ducks and that. It's a nice green open space.
It's a part of Qual, right? It's somewhere where people can mix and they come and feed the birds and they feel better on a morning or whenever, any time of the day. And it's a beautiful point in the summer. You know, and you have a variation of birds because we have several cormorants that actually visit the lake. Yeah. And you have the little water hens behind you there.
Surely, a Beacon Authority would be looking to save this environment and make better use of existing resources. The site is literally surrounded by empty office space in relatively modern buildings. Wouldn't it make sense to fill these first? And what about the massive offices to let across town? And commercial buildings in dire need of refurbishment? What about the tower blocks standing totally empty? Shouldn't we be recycling these? The recently rejuvenated Teesside House by Campus Lifestyle has surely set a glowing precedent. What about the sites of the controversially demolished Odeon and Scientific Institute? Over 2 years on and they remain undeveloped. What about Middlehaven, the so-called jewel in the crown, growing ever longer in the tooth? Manhattan Gate, like Manhattan itself, is an island, and Staten House beside it never got off the ground. What about St Hilda's? Is this the Bronx? The trashed historic heart of original Middlesbrough is a cultural disgrace. But the area has seen private investment in recent years. The superb conversion of the old DSS building into modern offices, an art gallery and cafe is a credit to Python Properties. And nearby there is the new police headquarters and Teesside University's new boho building, which is a significant development. Surely it would make sense to build around here. Why concrete over what is arguably the town centre's only pleasant and picturesque place? Local residents and office workers objected to the plans and put forward a petition of over 700 signatures. The council didn't even respond.
The council don't listen to the people in Middlesbrough. I think now it's more of a dictatorship. You do as I say, or, you know.
To think they can sell off land just for money like that. Mr Mallon, he won't even back us, and neither will our councillor, McPartland. He's against us as well. Oh, they say they're all for you, but they're not all for you at all. They're all right while they're getting a pat on the back. They don't care about us. We live here. They don't, and we want to keep this green piece, and we will fight, and I mean fight, till the bitter end to keep this green piece as well.
The kids that come with their mothers picnicking, they bring little picnics during the holidays. It's a lovely place to be. Leave it alone and let us have our little bit of tranquility and wildlife in the centre of Middlesbrough. Thank you.
The absurdity of this scheme in these uncertain times and the negative effect it would have upon the environment and community begs the question: is this council really moving Middlesbrough forward in a green direction, or is the reality more superficial than sustainable?
I was all for Mr Mallon, but I ain't now, because all he's after is getting city status, and we haven't even got a decent post office.